Now on YouTube, what's going on, Lankowski? Welcome back to Lou and Lank on Ahsoka. We have a very special guest, Mr. Nerdy Arse, when it comes to everything other than Star Wars. It is Sam. Say hello, Sam.
Hello, guys.
Hi, guys. Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. It's your boy. We're already going off on tangents. Anyway, yes, we are doing a weekly recap of Part 6. Which is titled Far, Far Away. There is already differing opinions on these on this episode, as
there always is.
Yeah, as there was on the last episode. I think we're only at episode 4 that we sort of agreed on. But we're gonna, as always, brief rundown, sort of chinwag about what happened, and then give our thoughts on episode 7, even though it's pretty much already dead in my eyes. But do you want me to start off, or are you going, Lou?
You could run through and I like catch up at fill in where I remember.
Lou sort of forgotten what's going on already. I've just watched it like 10 minutes ago, so I've got a very good knowledge.
I've actually watched it twice, but for some reason it just seemed to have blurred in my mind.
Yeah, it's weird that because it's almost like it's a filler episode. Anyway, we start off as Huyang and Ahsoka are in the Purgle's mouth. As it does the galaxy jump. It's very good actually. It's very colourful. It's almost like an LSD trip, to be quite honest, which is sort of weird, but hey ho. They're in the Purgle's mouth and travelling through the galaxy jump, and it cuts inside the ship where Huyang and not Sabine, Ahsoka are having a bit of a chinwag, and Ahsoka is very annoyed that Sabine did not destroy the Apple of Eden. And there's a bit of back and forth between Huyang and Ahsoka.
She basically just has a go. They kind of just go back and forth, don't they? And they're like, yeah, she should have destroyed it. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, yeah, but she was looking out for Ezra and she wasn't I don't know. It always starts with a bit of filler. I don't know what you think, Sam, but it's just kind of catching everybody up.
For me, it's not that she didn't want to destroy it, she's just thinking about it for selfish reasons.
Yeah.
Because in Ahsoka's mind, you have to make sacrifices.
Amen to that, brother.
The sacrifice is obviously never seeing Ezra.
She's quite ironic because she was selfish when she left the Order, but that's a whole other issue.
But you also could say that the fucking Jedi were selfish. Ha! Break the seventh wall. See, always thinking. And then yes, Huyang goes off on a bit of a storytelling journey about
a long time ago in a galaxy far away.
Bang! First 30 seconds of a fucking show, and we get our first reference of the episode. I'll let him off with this one. Basically, Ahsoka says to tell her a story of that they used to tell in the Jedi temples, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And Huyang starts with what is it? In a galaxy far, far away.
Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Which I will pass that reference off. I sort of like that one. That one was a very in your face, and then bang, title screen, Ahsoka, as if we didn't already know. And then it cuts to Sabine asleep and handcuffed. Some people pay extra for that.
I was just going to put it out there. I'm not even going to go there. I'm just going to put it out there. Sabine is my main... Exactly. But my main issue with this episode is Sabine. I don't like how she is in this episode. She's very whiny and complaining.
Yeah. It's like she's the little sister sort of thing, where it's always hard done by, and she's always like, oh, but I have to do what you want to do.
Very much. We had a deal. Are we there yet?
Yep.
For the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much. She's in a jail cell. She's in a holding cell, and Baylan Skoll comes up to the door. They have a bit of a chinwag, and then she's like, you made a deal with me. But none of that matters because, bam, next fucking scene, she's back. Our goddess. Our pure-hearted, beautiful, beautiful female.
You haven't clocked on, Sam. Lank likes a bit of Shin Hati.
Miss Shin Hati is.
She's back.
She's
back. I didn't get that
she's
from
back. She's
our
back.
talk.
Yeah, she's back. As Balin Skull heads onto the bridge of a ship. You get your first look of the episode at the either Witch Lady and Shin Hati, as they are told by their droids that they are arriving at their destination. How do you pronounce the planet's name?
Peridia.
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 Yeah.
Okay. I had, for some reason,
the ancient homeworld of the Dathomir.
Yeah, I couldn't hear out because people were talking during this episode, mainly my daughter and girlfriend. So all I had was arrive at destination Harilla. Don't know how I got from Peridia to Harilla, but we're there.
Because they say it's the ancient, it's where the Purgle go to die.
Yeah. Well, what were it?
Graveyard.
Yeah, someone said it's like a natural stopping off point on the end point for him, and then someone says no, it's a graveyard basically for where they come to die. Which, I mean, great way to start off the episode. Nice and cheery so far. Yeah.
They show you some dead Purgle.
Yeah. Pretty much as they're in the ship, the bad guys get a beacon from the planet's surface and they head down to it. As they're heading down to it, we come out of a cloud cover and there's just carcass or bones and graveyard and death and
very Shakespearean.
Yeah, no, it's very cheery. I like it. And then as the bad guys land, they arrive at. Yes. Oh fucking hell.
Basically, just for some backstory, Sam. Lank was, you know, the henge where they put the.
Someone called it a henge, and it sort of just stuck in my head.
Lank was obsessed with the word henge, and he's like, "Why does every episode focus around this henge?" And then we finally left the henge to go to an even bigger henge.
Yeah, my notes just say another fucking henge.
What henge are you?
That's where the first put the Apple of Eden down, and we got the map up.
The map.
Yeah. Someone called that place because we were calling it a monument or something.
Stonehenge, yeah.
And no, someone in the episode called it a henge, so it is now a henge. And then we arrive on a different planet to a different henge because Dave Filoni cannot help himself, and he is a conspiracist and thinks Stonehenge. There's something going on at Stonehenge. Dave Filoni is just Scientology and all that shit.
So then, anyway, we cut to the new henge, and there's the three mothers of Dathomir, and we see some more Dathomir witches, which is never go wrong with that.
Which is a real surprise considering all the Night Sisters have been
eradicated. Yeah, true. In the Purge, but it did say it was the ancient homeworld.
It wasn't the Purge. It was the CIS.
Yeah, the CIS Purge, where Grievous went and murdered them all.
Like Navi and Gambit and stuff like that.
I don't know if that's an Avatar reference or a CS reference.
CS reference. Oh yeah, because the Navi's called. Yeah, I never watched Avatar.
It surprises me for the fact you have not seen Clone Wars. That really upsets me.
No, it happens. But as they find the approach of witches or the Night Sisters. Night Sisters, is it?
Yeah, Night Sisters.
Yeah, as they approach the Night Sisters, one of the Night Sisters, I can't remember what she says directly, but she's got a feeling about there's a Jedi around them, and she looks at Sabine, and she's they're sort of scared of a Jedi, which is interesting to see.
It is, considering the other two are like not Jedi but like Force users. So
yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. She looked directly at Sabine, but I don't know whether
even more handcuffed.
Yeah, I don't know whether you two noticed. I don't know whether it's just me picking things out, but as Sabine gets marched off into her next holding cell, she sort of looks round. It's either at Shin Hati or Balin Skull, but I feel like there's a lot of like looks in this episode between Shin Hati and Sabine, and there's a lot of questioning.
There's been tension there since the start.
The thing is, I don't think it's like tension.
Did you stab her?
No, I know that, but I feel like it's more of there's somewhat of a betrayal incoming, or someone changing sides incoming.
I think that. I 100% think that, but we'll get onto that later.
Yeah.
I think Sabine just feels a bit betrayed by Balin.
Yeah, somewhat along those lines. And then we cut to a wide shot of Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings, and we are all of a sudden in Minas Tirith in Gondor. So that's that, and I don't really know where that come from, unless it were another Dave Filoni reference. But for some reason, we're now in Return of the King. And then what is it? Next, moving on is to Balin Skull tells.
Such a good reference.
What?
Gondor.
Wait, isn't it looks exactly like fucking Minas Tirith. And
Sauron somewhere, and
Sauron's in Mount Doom over by Osgiliath.
Yeah.
Oh, we could do a Lord of the Rings. I know that's a long old time ago, but we could do a Lord of the Rings.
20 hour watch party.
Yeah, get the extended cut watch party. I am so down. I'll get my sweet popcorn. But anyway, moving on. We're going off on another tangent. Next, pretty much decent scene is Balin Skull tells Shin Hati about pretty much stories again from the Jedi Temple. There's a lot about the Jedi Temple in this episode, and he just starts going over stories of how it used to be and how when he was a little older than she was, he saw everything that he sort of loved or knew of burn, obviously in the Jedi Purge and Order 69, and yes. My notes do say Shin Hati screen time. I like a lot, because at this point we are getting a lot of Shin Hati screen time, and fucking bring it on. Fuck everyone off. Fuck Ahsoka off. I quite like Balin Skull keeping around. Fuck Sabine off. Hu Yang can come and join the hot tub party.
Bring Hayden back.
Yeah, bring Hayden back. We're all getting in hot tub. We're just chilling. A few Coronas.
I don't know. it's just a little back and forth, isn't it? Where it's like the stories of the Jedi Temple talked about this place, and then she's like, "Yeah, they're just stories." And he's like, "Yeah, but you weren't there, bro. You weren't there.
You weren't there, bro. You don't even know." And we cut straight back to Sabine, who is in the holding cell, and she tries to use the Force to break out, and then we get a close up of some.
Gets a strange rumble.
Yes, there's like a bricks rumbling and stuff like that, and then in the background there's a little window slit that you can see through, and you can see that something's approaching. Bang! Wide shot. Fucking Star Destroyer.
Just the
ISD Chimera.
Yeah, whatever that means.
Wrong shit.
Well, I sort of assumed that.
It's Imperial Star Destroyer Chimera.
Yeah, that big Star Destroyer turns up, hovers over.
Battered though. Do you know what it reminded me of? Of like a ghost ship, like almost like a Flying Dutchman, where it was like.
You wanna know what? Well, you've seen Rebels, haven't you? Like?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know why.
Yeah, because the Purg obviously drag it away and all that, but.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks so creepy because it appears. It reminds me very much of like Pirates of the Caribbean, where they got a World's End and it just like appears and it's all like.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
But yeah, it's such a cool scene though.
When you first see it from face on, it pretty much it's just like any other Star Destroyer. I mean, as it pans over the Star Destroyer, you see what Lou's mentioned is a big fucking. Like wear and stuff like that about it.
What was that, Sam?
Got a few images there.
Yeah, it's just imperious.
Yeah, and then it comes over the like. What did you say? It's a temple that they're in.
The henge. It docks with the henge.
Yeah, it docks with the henge, and you'll get your.
It's more of a tower.
Yeah, like there we go, Minas Tirith Tower. Peter Jackson's jizzing himself right now. Yes, it's the henge tower docks with the Star Destroyer. If you manage to decipher any of this talk that's going on, fair play to you. Fair play to you. As it docks, you lower down, you get the big loading bay, and you get first look at a somewhat depleted but still a decent sized stormtrooper army. I use it in quotes.
I think it was very much a callback to the original movies. You know, like when you first see Sidious arrive and they're all like lined up, but then you quickly realise these are not the normal stormtroopers that you used to.
Yeah, these are not the droids you were looking for. See, there's even me putting references in there now. It's getting weird.
But it's so interesting though, because it basically pans and you see the legions of stormtroopers and they're all lined up, but they've all got like holes in their armor.
Yeah, they're all
like,
battered
together. They almost look like zombified. Some of them.
If you, interesting fact, if you turn on the subtitles, you'll notice that when some of them speak, it says night troopers. So if you look into the fact. These troopers aren't alive. It's like Marek. They're brought back by Night Sister magic.
Oh, interesting.
Notice how all the fucking night troopers have red fucking cloth around their armor. It's a Night Sister.
Interesting.
The fucking Night Sister.
Similar to Marek.
Claw.
Can I just say though, did you two, as when you saw the gold one, be honest, did you think that was Ezra?
No.
Just for a split second.
Actually, maybe.
I was like, just for a second.
Because he had that slow spin sort of thing, didn't he? And I was like,
you see the gold mask, and it's like almost like an Indiana Jones thing, like where he not Indiana Jones, but like he takes the mask off and it's like it's been turned or whatever with the knife.
You were the chosen one.
So ready for that, but yeah.
Instead,
weird language, aren't they?
Yeah, instead of having a great fucking intro and a great fucking reveal, someone else take this before I fucking kill myself.
Sam, do you want to do it? Or?
I shouldn't say that, should I? I'm gonna have to edit that out.
Yeah, so they all turn and it's like a big reveal of like who's this coming down the aisle, and it's
not a bride. It's not a bride.
You see his boots, and then you're like, it's him, and he's back. He's back, fully back. Thrawn, the heir to the Empire, has returned.
It is and the worst reveal ever.
My first reaction was Elon Musk in Star Wars. We've done it, boys. We've done it. Blue Elon Musk. He has ascended to the.
I couldn't take my eyes off his eyes because they were so badly done. And I was still trying to work out at the end of the episode whether his face was actually CG blue or just painted.
No, if it painted blue.
But I'm like, I would still like, mate, this looks ass. And I had a quick Google. It's Lars Mikkelsen, who is the brother of Mads Mikkelsen. If you don't know, he's the Le Chiffre from Casino Royale, the first James Bond with Daniel Craig in. Which I didn't know, so that was a pleasant surprise when I found that out.
I do like this trend of bringing the actual voice actors, except for Ashley Time, but we know my thoughts on that.
All right, well, let's not have Hayden Christensen. Let's not have Hayden Christensen back then if you want to go down that fucking road.
He was the original.
Ahsoka, Sabine, Ezra, fucking Hera.
But anyway.
Yeah, we get the worst reveal of all time, and
I just loved hearing his voice again. I know it's the same voice actor, but like it sounded like we saw with Hayden Christensen, it sounded a bit off. This was dead on.
Yeah,
he sounded so good, and he had that James Bond villain-esque era about him. The way he was talking.
That's his brother.
Thrawn from Rebels, and it's just an iconic character, even from Legends and the comics.
Yeah, the Timothy Zahn books, if you've never read them, fantastic, but I'd wager he's up there with Vader and Palpatine as the best villains in Star Wars.
Not in this series. Not in this fucking series, Ian. He's up there with fucking Sabine for worst fucking character.
So yeah, we have the introductions.
Mixed opinions.
Yes, very mixed opinions. We'll get to this at the end, but very mixed opinions for myself. Then Sabine is brought up onto Thrawn. Who they have a nice little catch up. They sit down, they get the Daily Times out, we have a cup of tea and a couple of hobnobs and stuff like that. Just have a quick chinwag and talk about what's been happening.
Reminisce about the good old days.
Yeah, and Baylan Skoll's there, and pretty much it cuts to and from a couple of scenes, and Sabine is then given her freedom to go search for Ezra. She's given like I don't know, a big fucking dog or some shit like that.
Yeah, Thrawn basically keeps his word as he does in Rebels. He's very cold and calculated, but he has an honest system.
Yeah.
But
he's also got ulterior motives. Is that word?
You're saying it, but it's not sounding right.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying it over and over again, because I'm like, it still doesn't sound.
It is the word you're looking for.
Ulterior motive.
And then you get a bit of a chinwag between as Sabine sets off and she rides off into the distance on this big dog. Thrawn and Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati and the Evil Witch Lady are all overwatching her from a henge tower docked with the Star Destroyer. And then basically, Thrawn says to Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati that you are free to pursue Sabine and deal with her in whatever way you wish.
I was just going to say, this is where the seeds of doubt start to be sown, because Shin Hati's like, but we gave our word. And
you sort of saw it in her eyes when Thrawn said that to Baylan, and she sort of looked to Baylan like, yeah, you give her the word. Yeah.
Yeah. But they still have some balance, which is why they're not Sith. But it's and then it's very much like this is where you see the cold, calculated side of Thrawn, because he's like, I never said that. I said she could look for Ezra. We never said what we do afterwards.
Yeah, that bit I did like, because that were like proper. I love a calm, evil villain, like just someone that don't even cool and calculated, nonchalant as fuck. But yes, basically Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati are given the orders to go after her and potentially kill her and Ezra if she does find Ezra. As Lou alluded to, Shin Hati does question said decision and makes me love her even more. I am currently browsing the internet looking for rings because I'm going to tie that shit down. Definitely, it's happening.
And then we get. Well, I was just going to say the little point on that is this is where you start seeing the seeds of doubt, where ulterior motives. Shin Hati and Baylan Skoll, and basically they don't have the same goals as Thrawn. Thrawn's is to get back to the other galaxy and take over, whereas we'll see a little bit later on, but they are planning something different. At least Baylan is, and he starts to let Shin Hati know.
Yeah, it's.
If you make a point to earlier in the episode where Baylan did say he's to Shin, that he's sick of the back and forth.
He's sick of
that's a good quote actually. The cycle of the
the downfall of the Jedi, the rise of the Empire, the downfall of the Empire.
Yeah,
like George Lucas said,
just wants it to stop.
Yeah,
George Lucas said though, it rhymes. All good stories rhyme. Star Wars rhymes.
Was it?
Now we have the New Republic.
Yeah.
Does Reva rhyme with Rian Johnson?
And Rey?
And with
what the fuck?
With Star Wars canon, obviously, we know it's the downfall of the New Republic and the rise of the First Order.
Yeah.
There's shit it is, but you know.
Yeah,
we all have different opinions on that.
That's a good callback, actually. That is Sam. As then we cut to Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati riding out on their own big dogs.
They're just wolves. They're not big dogs.
Well, that's a big fucking wolf. If you know a wolf that size, please point me in the direction.
It's a loft wolf.
It's not a loft wolf.
Okay. Yes, as those two go riding out of the henge tower or whatever the fuck it is, it cuts to Sabine and she gets jumped by Scavengers, yeah, that's a good word.
You don't think they look like the bounty hunters from Clone Wars?
That's what Baylan called them. Scavengers.
Oh, is that what he called them?
I think they look like the bounty hunters from Clone Wars.
Yeah, I thought they looked like something very familiar, to be honest, but I couldn't put my finger on it what they actually looked like.
Yeah, one of the bounty hunters, I know you know about.
Yeah, and then
this is a complete different galaxy we're in.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and then Sabine has a fight with maybe 5, 6 of them, pulls the lightsaber out, which is very vibrant all of a sudden. Is it just me that picked up on this? I feel like if
it's cloudy, it's overcast.
But I feel like if you pulled that like lightsaber up against like Luke's or Qui-Gon's, it'd be a completely different sort of green. And it's just like I'm like, nah, this is all getting a bit too vivid right now.
This is Lank's complaint.
Yeah, this is like my cinematography guy in me coming out going, that's too green. If I can notice this is too green now, where it's having it side by side, surely someone else is noticing this.
Though I know what you're on about. The guy earlier, his name's Embo.
Yeah, the bounty hunter was yeah, I just like that every time she gets attacked, she goes with like the Mandalorian, but then when stuff starts to like turn south, she's like, guess I'll pull the lightsaber out.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I'm surprised they did hand her the lightsaber because that's feels like a bit of a.
They're trying to sell it though.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know.
I was just gonna say.
I'm not a fan of the Disney lightsabers.
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that.
The only part we missed out was the fact that when Shin Hati and Baylan Skoll ride off into the sunset to like catch Sabine, basically Thrawn's just like, we don't need either of them, be it the mercenaries, or be it Sabine and Ezra. We either kill them or we leave them behind.
Yeah, that's a good callback. But I've noticed that as well in this episode. There's a lot of referring to Shin Hati and Baylan Skoll as mercenaries, and I don't feel like we've heard that as much before this episode. It gets said quite a lot.
They're not part of the bigger plan.
No, everything. It's going to end up in a Mexican standoff, I feel like. But after Sabine gets jumped, cuts a bit further ahead, she's wandering off with her big wolf, or just a wolf as Lou wants to call it. There's a bit of funny back and forth because the wolf abandoned her when she got jumped, and now she wants to abandon it. Fuck off, Disney. Fuck me. God on. I've never wanted Jar Jar Binks back so much in my life.
You've already got Mohammed Best.
Oh, God. Anyway, yes. Then we get to the weird rock person filler shite. I quote. It's fucking horrific. The big wolf sort of leads Sabine to this area. It looks like it's picked up a scent of someone, so they track it, and the wolf ends up having a drink and then stares down this rock, and it's like, is it a hermit crab? Like there's like a creature or a being inside the rock with like a big rock on its back.
Like a hermit crab.
Yeah,
pretty much like that. The best way I described it was it looked like straight out the Wind of the Willows. If you know, that's a fucking throwback and a half. If you know that.
No idea what that is.
Old school stories from like the 20s. It's like a fucking kid story.
Yeah, what are you chatting, bro?
I think classics. British.
No. Weird rock person full of shit that goes on for about 10 minutes.
It doesn't speak English.
Doesn't speak English. It really annoyed me because as soon as it stood up, basically the wolf spooked it from behind. It stood up.
English, Lou. It's galactic base.
Yeah, galactic. Stop being racist.
Aurebesh, if you really want to get pedantic.
Oh, okay.
That's not Aurebesh.
It's the writing, isn't it?
But yeah, as soon as it stood up, I felt my brain melt, my face just sloped off to one side, and I thought,
when it hit again.
Yeah, I thought this is time just to end now because nothing else.
This is the latest cash cow.
Yeah,
this is a little rock thing that they can sell.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, like that little fucking bird from fucking first two sequels, was it? But fucking Chewbacca had it, Millennium Falcon. Like,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I'm kind of like Men in Black that from my memory.
Yeah, but then after that rock person filler shite, we cut back to Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati, who found the site where Sabine gets jumped by the scavengers, and this is a bit that Lou alluded to a bit earlier, where they sort of start talking. Well, Baylan starts talking about his grander plan for everything, the way he sees things happening, and Shin Hati sort of has a questionable look in her eye, and not challenges, but brings up her own ideas of not staying in this galaxy on this planet. And
let's not get trapped in this shit.
Yeah, basically, let's not do a Thrawn and an Ezra and get trapped here.
Right,
So someone has to come back.
I don't. Yeah, so they basically he wants to end the cycle, as Sam said, and how he has greater plans, and Thrawn's not what he's here for, and he basically wants to end. He basically says that he liked the idea of the Jedi Temple and the Jedi Order, but in practice it didn't work, and the Empire doesn't work, and how he wants to end the cycle and start a new beginning.
Yeah,
is the word he phrases.
I feel like he sort of wants to start a new order. I wouldn't say like Jedi Order, but I feel like he wants to start a new order and do it his sort of way. But I still feel like it obviously end the way it would normally do. But that's my thoughts of the future. But that's what I was thinking for his.
And I just at one
vision.
point though, while they were having this little conversation, they noticed up on the hill that the scavengers are watching over them.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Do we attack them?" And he's like, "The enemy of our enemy is thy friend." And I feel like that's a massive call forward, almost like a foreshadowing of what's to come. Because I can definitely see like friction between Thrawn and the mercenaries and how they could become enemies, and then that could play into the whole Jedi stuff.
I think he was talking more about the fact that the scavengers.
Oh yeah, the scavengers are and in this instance, definitely. But I'm on about later on. It could flip the other way, where we could see Shin Hati and Baylan team up with Ezra and the boys.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see.
Then we bring back Rey, and it's all good. Anyway. Next scene.
Yes, back to it after that little interruption. Yes, Bill and Skull, Shin Hati going over what they want to talk about and how they see the future. Then we get
Thrawn returned.
Yeah. Then we get another fucking 5 minutes of rock fucking filler people shit.
Willow and the I'm going with that. But they've multiplied now.
Yeah, it's almost like Tusken Raider style. It's weird how things keep getting brought back to things from original.
Sam, do you not think it's like a callback to the Clone Wars where they crash land on that planet with the little monkey people?
No, them.
Wow, we can't say that.
No, but they are. They're like little monkey people, and basically the Separatist droids go to attack them. And
but they're farmers.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like they live in little huts, and they're like innocent people.
They also don't move every couple of days.
Yeah, they did drag the pods though from the big tree. But anyway, carry on, Mr. Lankowski.
Yeah. So we get the.
Can I add 1 point to that?
Go to it.
Go ahead.
Somehow the hermit crabs they returned.
Yes.
Yes. Favorite.
What is the theory? But yeah, we get more rock filler people shite.
Like favorite bit of the episode.
This is that was my third. The Thrawn reveal was my first favorite part of the episode because it was vile. The third favorite part of the episode was the rock filler people. And the second favourite part of this episode was yet another shit reveal. Because, funnily enough, it pans round to the front of Sabine as she's talking to the weird rock people. And
angry, Danny.
I'm fucking so annoyed. Because there was... Anyway, it pans round, you get face on with her, she goes blurry, the background comes into focus. And who's there? Everyone to have the second worst reveal. It is Jar Jar Binks. No, it's fucking Ezra. One episode and they have spoiled 2 reveals. How?
That means we get 2 more episodes of Ezra and.
I don't care. I'm done with it. Literally.
It takes place in the Shire, by the way. It's just like little.
Yeah, it takes place in the Shire, right next to Minas Tirith. But yeah, I'm so after episode 4, it's just all gone downhill, and I'm fed up with it. I'm done. I literally can't wait for it to end now because I can't see how good they're gonna make these next 2 episodes good.
I can't wait till next week's episode.
To be honest.
I couldn't give a.
I don't know. Part of me was like, I don't want Thrawn till the very end.
Yes, that's how it should have been.
Well, part of me was
season 2.
Like, I want more. I want to see
Thrawn before I have to wait like another 2 years for the next season.
Well, shit happens. That sets it all up. It intensifies that lust for Thrawn. No, we just happen to come across him and Ezra on the same planet in the same fucking episode. After 2 same bits of fucking filler. Bullshit, Disney. Bullshit. I've had enough.
But anyway, with Pam, we see Ezra. He cracks a few jokes to Sabine. He mentions how he's happy that she's come to save him and how they defeated Thrawn. How did she get here? She kind of like tiptoes around it because she knows she's done bad. She's like, let's just like be happy. Let's all fake happiness for now. And everyone smiles and nods, and then they look to the sunset, and it all no. But
there's two suns, and then there's like a house. There's like a house sunk into the sand, and then John Williams comes out of nowhere and starts going like that. No.
But so you have the nice reunion. They hug each other. They embrace. It's quite heartwarming in that sense, and then it pans back to the final scene of the episode. Back to Thrawn.
Yeah. Where Thrawn, he is
character.
Yeah, Thrawn, he is basically of Ahsoka's an impending Jedi arrival from one of the Night Sisters, who sounds rather worried. But yet another Jedi is coming towards them.
What's the phrase she used? They're on the Travelers, I think is the word they use.
Yes, basically alluding to the Purgles, aren't they?
Yeah, they're vibing on the back of a Purgle.
Pretty much.
How in Finding Nemo, where they like fly in with Dory and stuff, and the turtles.
I won't even say it's like that. I'd say it's like fucking. It's like train spotting after they've taken a fucking bad batch and they're all losing their shit. Where all those colours and that flying in air. That's just
more Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, more Ewan McGregor. Yeah, I like it, Lou. I like it.
And then basically Thrawn talks to the mother of the Night Sisters, and he basically asks, "Is it Ahsoka?" And they're like, "We don't know." And then he's like, "I thought he said she was dead." And then it's a bit of back and forth. And then I think is the most interesting part of the episode in terms of setting it up.
Doesn't take much.
He basically says, "Who is Ahsoka? I want to know everything about her name, her past, her race." And then he says the keywords and who her master is. Boom.
Yeah.
It's like he knows Anakin from the Clone Wars. If you go off Legends, I don't really know what the Disney canon aspect of it, but from Legends he knows Vader and he knows Anakin. So it's be interesting to see if we get more Hayden. That's the fingers crossed.
Yeah, he asked the Night Sisters to enlist their services of their black magic once again. So it's going to be interesting to see if they summon more of an army or maybe another Marek.
Like Mordor, just fucking rise the army out.
Yeah. But and then it cuts to the credits, and you are left wanting to stab your eyes out with a wooden spoon.
That's how Lang feels.
That's how I feel, because I'm a realist.
I think it's quite similar to episode 2 and 3, where it's setting stuff up.
We're actual Star Wars fans, like. So
I am a Star Wars fan.
What are your final reflections then, Sam, of the episode, and what do you think is going to happen in the next 2?
I hope we get to see Thrawn's return, where Hera and the New Republic are sat there cluelessly waiting.
But Thrawn's not coming back. Thrawn's not coming back, remember?
And then suddenly the fucking ISD Chimera just appears out of hyperspace.
Do you reckon that's going to be the end of the next episode, setting up like a big final battle of the last episode?
I hope that's how season 1 ends.
I hope season 1 ends now and it gets cancelled.
No, because if season 1, basically how I'd do it is you'd have the next one is the whole Ezra and Sabine and then Baylan and Shin trying to hunt them down, and they basically find them, and then they create some kind of deal and they team up against Thrawn, and then the end of episode 8 would basically be Grand Admiral Thrawn's return as the heir to the Empire, I
imagine they'll continue on with obviously Mandalorian as well.
Oh god, yeah.
God.
Just throw Din Djarin in there as well.
Oh
They
god.
were referencing it in season 3, obviously with Moff Gideon.
That's
true. That is very true.
Yeah, but the cloning got destroyed.
Are we just gonna atom smash the Mandalorian series and Ahsoka into one, and just make like a hybrid series where
Ahsoka?
This is before the.
Yeah, I know. I thought it's set just after season 3. I think it's set just after, isn't it?
What's your roundup?
No, I think this is before because if you remember, all the high-ranking individuals were talking about the possible return of Grand Admiral Thrawn.
What's your roundup and thoughts of what's to come, Lou?
I think it was maybe they jumped the gun a little bit in bringing Thrawn back, but I still
not a little bit, absolutely.
I still like the fact that we see Thrawn and just seeing him in live action and hearing his voice again. It's been too long. Was it 2014 Rebels ended?
Even with his awful CGI red eyes.
Even with his Elon Musk.
Those red eyes are CGI 100%.
Definitely contacts.
No, they are contacts. They would not look that bad.
Whatever they are, it's just as scuffed as he is. It's just nice to hear the voice and how calculated he is, because generally he was one of the best, my favourite characters, and one of the best villains, if not up there as the best. Might be a controversial take.
Alongside Moff Tarkin.
I don't know. I think might outrank Tarkin in terms of just what he is and what he represents. It'd be interesting to see Hera's reaction to his return. I think that's going to be a very thing. I do want to see more of Hera. I'm sick of Sabine. We've not really seen Ahsoka much. So
I'm more interested in the New Republic. How they're going to actually deal with it, because they obviously don't believe and have no evidence for Thrawn's return.
Impending return. I am more interested in seeing more of Shin Hati.
I don't know. I've got a feeling that they're going to turn, maybe not the good side, but maybe they might turn back into Jedi, especially Shin. But
yeah, I feel like she's really started to question a lot of things.
Yeah, and I think if Thrawn is very much going to betray them, and I guess this situation where they just basically team up with Ezra.
Yeah, pretty much.
An enemy of my enemy type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
And the only one point I wanted to add on top of that is, I think Thrawn's going to kill Baylan Skoll purely because of the circumstances surrounding
it's
Ray
real
Stevenson.
life. Yeah.
I feel like they were going to kill him off anyway, because
I can't
really
as bad as
bring
it
him
sounds. Yeah, that's what I mean. But
they can't bring him back from the dead.
No.
As bad as it sounds, I hope the original plan was to kill him off, because it's going to be awful if it wasn't. And it was planned for later on, and now that's kind of like kill him off screen or whatever.
I think we touched on that a couple of episodes ago, didn't we?
Unless they've already filmed some of season 2 with him in it.
I can't imagine that.
Unless they do the obvious like maybe deep fake sort of thing. A quick thought on that that's just popped into my mind is if that was the plan, I wonder if some along the lines of maybe like Shin Hati might betray him, because obviously she's questioning things. Maybe they get saved, we get brought to other galaxy or something like that, or she, like, I don't know, thinks he's too radical and decides to turn on him, but not in a Sith way, not like Apprentice kills Master in a Sith way, but more of a she kills what she sees. Yeah, she changes allegiance. That's a great way to put it. That's just something that come into my head.
Just a fun thing. None of us have mentioned the army. It'd be interesting to see like this undead army, I guess is the best way to describe it, and how they're going to function. Obviously, like Sam said, if some of them are Night Sister magic, how is that going to exist? And like, yeah, it's kind of like an army of the dead commanded by Thrawn of this grand return.
Pretty much. And like, I think Thrawn does allude to it at one point, that they are a bit thin on the ground.
But and you've got the big question as well of what's going to happen to Jason, everyone's favourite character. Is he going to turn to the dark side? Find out next time.
On that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen.
Find out in episode 7.
Yeah, before I claw my face off. That is our roundup of episode 6, Far, Far Away of Ahsoka. I hope you did enjoy. by far the most filler. It was like
even more than number 2.
It was like episode 8. Just like
favorite.
Yeah, episode 8. Just filler. And hey, oh look, he's
they
back.
They can kill off the bad guy.
I don't think it was filler if they actually showed.
Oh yeah, I don't think it was filler. I think it was like setting stuff up.
No.
Like Thrawn and fucking Ezra's return. Like,
yeah, in the most mediocre way and nonchalant way.
You didn't want Ezra and you didn't want Thrawn, so what else were they meant to do other than filler in that case?
Well, it could have been handled in a totally different way. For me, it should have ended. Ezra, maybe
I think they should have revealed one of them, but not both.
Yeah, not both of them, and not in a very lackluster way. But I think maybe they should have found saying that they couldn't have really found Ezra.
I would have
found him Thrawn to an extent.
That's what I mean. They should have brought back Thrawn so we could see more of him, and then you bring back Ezra because you've already seen him in hologram form. You just bring back Ezra at like the end, and it's like he's back and he's here to stop Thrawn, and it's like big reveal.
Yeah, I mean, like season over, sort of like Luke Skywalker at End of Mando. But anyway. Before this carries on for any longer than it has, if you did like, please do consider liking and subscribing. His link, Lou's link, seeing as there's more than one of us today, Lou's link is in my description. My link is in his description. And yes, thank you for Sam for joining us and imparting his extended knowledge of the Star Wars universe upon us and yourselves. He may be back in future episodes. You never know. If you want to see him back, please comment down below. If you don't, scream it down below. But on that bombshell, I hope you all enjoyed, and we shall see you all next time. Peace.
Adios.
Bye.